Welcome back. A recent report reveals that around 70% of IT decision makers have set aside a quarter of their annual IT budgets for application modernisation, while 30% will dedicate more than 50%. Well, to discuss the importance of modernisation applications for businesses, as well as the issue of IT wastage affecting the region, I caught up with Cuneyt Buyukbezci, the Regional Director for BTO Applications for HP Software. So welcome to the show today. Thank you very much for taking time for us today. So first of all, how outdated are IT applications within businesses here in the UAE?
Well, we see that, first of all, I want to qualify the word outdated, because how outdated is related to how old they are. Definitely the applications are not like very archaic or 10, 20 years behind the technology. But what we see is that the technology is changing rapidly, especially in the past 3 to 5 years. And we see that at least half of the enterprise applications available in the market today needs to be revamped and be modernized with the new technologies which are available in the past 3 to 5 years. So, and this is what, when we say application modernization, this is what we gauge the outdatedness with.
Right. So in terms of modernisation, are businesses in the region actually looking to update their applications? And what sort of percentage are looking to do this?
Well, yes, we see a great drive in modernization, especially the enterprise customer segment, which is our focus primarily in HP. I would say 80% of our customers have projects already ongoing, or they are thinking to start some modernization project in the application space.
Now, there's also been a recent report saying that there is an incredible amount of IT wastage in this area. I mean, how are companies such as yourselves addressing this issue?
Well, this is a great point, and actually this is a point which is even more important than the modernization initiative itself. So because this is about how you approach the modernization. Now, this IT waste is something which we take on very seriously. The waste which is happening in application projects particularly, and in our region we are working on creating the awareness. There is some awareness up to a level, but this needs to be really elevated very high, and especially the business people has to look at it. This recent report, which is published by Standish Group, it's called a Chaos Report. This has been published in the past 10 to 15 years. This looks at the success of the applications projects happening overall. And they gauge like 6,000 projects, and they look at it, what's the failure rate and success rate. And this report gives some striking figures. 24% of application initiatives failed, according to this report, whereas 44% of them are either cost overrun, or they end up with less functionality delivered to the business than expected, which is another form of waste. So what we have in HP is a total quality management approach and the tools to enable this for application modernization projects. So we educate the market and create the awareness that it's not the end product what only matters. It's how you produce the product, which means how you approach the modernization. Do you have the right total quality management processes in place, the tools in place to enable and achieve this objective? And this is where a great value we can bring in. We can clearly cut that 24% to 44% waste which is happening in these IT projects.
So it really is essentially quality management that really needs to be addressed.
It is the biggest problem today in the region. The quality management issues around IT is something which was overlooked completely up until now, and the savings and the business benefits are huge. And let me give you a figure. According to Economic Intelligence Unit, the spending in IT in the region will be around $5 billion. Wow. So there are different figures popping on 5 billion, 6 billion ranges. And if you can just take 3.5 billion will be spent on the application modernization projects overall. And if you just take the statistics from the Standish Group report, that 24% of that money will not have any return and it will be direct waste.
Wow.
And 44% of that money spent will be overrun, meaning if you overrun your costs 30 to 50%, that will also contribute another number. You can reach really, really big figures as waste, and this can go as high as $1 billion waste,
wow,
which is huge. And this waste can today be addressed by implementing total quality management processes and the tools when you are doing your modernization projects.
Definitely. So why do you think initially this was sort of overlooked as well? What do you think has been the main sort of issue there?
When the manufacturing history started, it was all about making a product, and everybody was busy with that. Up until like 80 years ago, where the concepts of not the product only, but how to make that product became more and more important. It's really a learning in production. Now, if you look at it, IT has been always running purely around technology innovation up until recently.
Yeah.
So everything else was a secondary thing because technology is changing so fast. And people kind of overlooked the process of producing applications.
Right.
But now, with these new economic changes, business becoming more and more demanding, economics are changing. Now the business wants more with the less investment. The business reality is sinking in the IT projects, forcing the IT to look at that waste happening. And this is now the time for IT industry to think about lean production, total quality management, Six Sigma, and all these kind of concepts which has been around, really.
It's very exciting stuff, definitely.
It is.
Well, thank you very much. That's all we've got time for, I'm afraid. But thank you very much for speaking with us. It's been great to meet you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, that's it from the business desk. You can write to us, though, at ib@city7tv.com. Up next, Shadab Munshi is back with the news.